recovery trajectory. The International Monetary Fund says South Africa's economic recovery plans face serious constraints.
The IMF is pointing the finger at the growing debt of state firms. Eskom is a concern, also talking about money flowing out of the country because of the global trade tensions. It says that some of its initial optimism has dissipated as growth remains stuck in low gear in South Africa and reform implementation facing constraints. So that's not good news for our credit rating going forward. Perhaps the IMF has named Eskom as a key risk.
Now, South Africa has been chosen to sit on the board of trustees of the African Union Peace Fund. It's a move which is being seen as the country repositioning itself to play a pivotal role in continental matters once again.
The Peace Fund was established by AU heads of state in Addis Ababa in 1993, but has been criticized for not fulfilling or achieving its potential. It's hoped these new appointments will give the fund the momentum it needs to live up to the expectations in conflict resolution, as Coletta Wanjohi reports from the Ethiopian capital.
The chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, has appointed 5 African members to the Board of Trustees of the African Union Peace Fund. Among them is Tito Mboweni, South Africa's finance minister. The Peace Fund will help finance diplomatic measures aimed at preventing conflicts, as well as make improvements to institutional skills and resources and peace support operations on the continent. The AU says the Board of Trustees will ensure the fund is governed well and serves its purpose.
We need to trust our organizations, and we need to trust the instruments that we ourselves have given powers, and we need to get involved ourselves. Sometimes we do not respond to African institutions. We wait for help from outside, which comes with strings, as you know very well.
Mboweni's appointment is another sign of South Africa's role within the African Union. The country is already part of the Peace and Security Council and has been involved in the mediation of South Sudan peace talks. Through former President Thabo Mbeki, it is assisting Sudan solve its internal conflict. He insists the Peace Fund will play an important role on the continent.
This fund would be very important because it gives us the capacity to do the things that you need to do in order to help to advance towards silencing those guns. Ordinary things like calling meetings. Sometimes you'll be short of $50,000 and the negotiating process comes to a standstill because Africa cannot produce $50,000.
In July 2016, the AU Assembly of Heads of State and Government decided that members should contribute $400 million to the fund by the year 2021. An agreement was reached to raise the funds by levying 0.2% from preferred imports. So far, just $60 million has been raised by 24 members. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda says stronger political will is needed from the remaining 31 countries.
Why can't we do this across Africa and say, let's contribute something to this problem and address it? In the same way is how we can contribute even to this fund. So that we move from just good intentions, as was said earlier by one of the panelists, but to do some of the things that are practical but also doable.
In addition to the 5 African board members, representatives from the European Union and United Nations will also occupy 2 seats on the AU Peace Fund board. The African Union says the fund should carry out its commitment and not simply be diverted to financing post-conflict reconstruction tasks, which the AU believes can and should be done by other willing partners like the World Bank and the African Development Bank. Coletta Wanjohi, SABC News, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.